Slava Isus Christus, Slava Navika, glory be to Jesus Christ, glory be forever. This is Father Basil Malovany doing another podcast today. And I'm actually on a retreat this week, a spiritual priestly retreat that we do every year in my province in June. And we have a very interesting and informative speaker for us this week. And he's talking to us priests about, how to be a joyous priest, how to be a priest of joy. And there's been some very interesting questions that he's asked us to reflect upon. And I'd just like to share with you, the listening audience today, some of these things that we're reflecting on this week. So, he started his talk today with saying, well, what were your expectations when you got ordained and then on what are your experiences now? Are they meeting your expectations that when you were ordained a priest so many years ago? And then the next topic was, how would you define priesthood? How would you tell someone what a priest is? How would your parishioners tell someone else what a priest is based on how they observe you? So these are the kinds of questions that we've been reflecting upon. And then in our last session, we were, the experiences we have as a priest, to have that Holy Spirit guiding us to do what is right at all times. And in our everyday situations, we never know what we're going to experience when we visit people, when even we're in society, and even in the public, when we're passing by. We might pass by an accident. We might pass by someone who is very ill, who is unhealthy mentally or emotionally or spiritually. And it is our duty not to ignore them, but to help them as much as we can. And then some of the questions we had were, what are your greatest achievements as a priest? What do you think your greatest strengths are? What do you think your weaknesses are as a priest? And, how can, you serve your parishioners better? Basically, this is what we're asking about. And it's a real deep reflection, a really, really deep reflection that we're going through this week. Lots to think about, and I might be doing a lot of podcasts about that and the different aspects of priesthood. But I think this is what I said a few minutes ago. What is a priest? A priest is someone who's always able to bring Christ to other people. It's not just a priest that does this. Of course, us Christians, we're all supposed to be doing this. We're all supposed to be the image of Christ to others and show them what it means to be Christ-like, to be generous, to be loving, to be forgiving, to be merciful to others. But a priest must lead other people by example. And it's an eye-opener, really, when we think about what we do every single day of our lives. And are we, fulfilling God's plan the way He wants us to? And our speaker was very adamant that it's not necessarily our will that we're doing, but it's God's will. Every time we see a situation in front of us, it's not by coincidence. It's not necessarily coincidence that we have these people there that God puts for us to help them. it's God's sense, as he said. It's God's sense. He knows where we are. God knows where we are supposed to be, and He's there to guide us to make those decisions that are going to help others in their day-to-day lives, And there's no doubt about it. We all struggle in our day-to-day lives. Even we as priests, especially myself as a married priest, there's so many opportunities, unfortunately, to sin. And relationships is difficult. There's no doubt about that. When you're in a relationship with someone else, when you have a family, when you have jobs, and when you have people around you who don't agree with what they're doing, and it's sometimes very, very stressful. There's no doubt about it. And not just for priests, but for everyone in the world. So we priests know what, especially as married priests, we know what other people are experiencing in their lives, what they're experiencing as sin is everywhere around us. It's so important to be in this world, but to not be of this world. If you understand the meaning of that, it's okay to be around other people, because this is how God made us to be in a society, to be with other people, but we don't necessarily have to agree with the world points of view. We don't necessarily have to agree with how the world is working right now. We can stand up for truth. We can stand up for the church's teachings and say, this is not good what our society is doing right now. And the religious, the priests, the bishops, Pope are all supposed to be doing that. They're supposed to be standing up for the Catholic faith and saying, we need to figure out what is right and what is wrong in our society. And we have to figure out how we can correct society and help people learn what the truth is. Because what people are learning right now is not necessarily the truth. And they will learn worldly events. And children especially are being taught by parents who have very, I'll just put it bluntly, evil ways of doing things in this world. When parents believe in things that go against the Catholic faith, they're going to teach their children those same things, and it's just going to go from generation to generation to generation. And we have to start putting a stop to that. We have to start putting a stop to the evil that's going on in this world today. So, this is some of my viewpoints, my thoughts today as I was thinking about, what is a priest? And I'll probably be talking about this more in the future days, as I reflect this week about my own ministry, how to be more joyful, how to be more loving to my family, to my wife and child, to my parishioners, to everyone I meet, because as we know, we are being judged greatly. We are being judged greatly by God and how we handle situations we face ourselves in life. So if we are in a situation where we find someone in great need, and, whether they're physically in great need, whether they're mentally or emotionally, spiritually in great need, we have that obligation to help them. We have that obligation to at least offer assistance. Not everyone's going to want our help, and that's fine. If they say, no, we don't want you to help us, we'll have someone else, or we don't think we need help. We can't force our help on anyone who doesn't want it. That's one thing we have to remember too. Like, as a priest for this many years, I've been in situations where I want to, go visit people, but if they don't want to be visited, if they'd rather just be left alone, you can't force anyone to ask you to come to their house, And I wish more parishioners would ask me over, but that's just the way of the world. Again, everyone is so preoccupied with their own ways of life, and the society makes them so busy all the time. But that's probably another topic for another day. So anyways, what is a priest? What is a priest? A priest, of course, is a man of God who serves the people around him like Jesus served the people of his day. And of course, we priests are not divine like Jesus was. Jesus was Son of God. We are not Son of God, but we share in Jesus' divinity. We share in Jesus' resurrection. All of us, not just priests, but everyone does. And we get that strength by the Holy Spirit. We get that strength to evangelize, to be missionary apostles, just like the apostles after Pentecost that we celebrated a couple of weeks ago. They were given the tools to evangelize the people around them, and not just to talk to people about theology, but they wanted to actually be a part of people's lives. They wanted to be a part of people's struggles and challenges and joys as well. So this is what priests do as well. We are part of people's struggles and joys. We have our own struggles and joys, of course, but we are also part of other people's. And this is how priests can be role models to other people. We go to people, we listen, we don't judge them. We don't, because we have our own situations that we know are difficult. So everyone's family situation can be difficult, no doubt. But we correct them if we can. We console them. We give them that information they need to be a follower of Jesus. This is what priests do. So God bless you today. Have a great day.